Efforts by more than 20 countries and territories to destroy old ivory stockpiles, from burning them in Kenya to crushing them in New York, have put a squeeze on the illegal trade. But the deadly trade continues to be widespread. Here's why.
There's been long evidence from stockpiles that stockpiles were leaking, and particularly in some of the more corrupt countries, that stockpile management was not necessarily very strong, and so the thought was a significant source of ivory going into the markets is from these older stockpiles, and this study shows that at the moment that's not the case.
The study by researchers across U.S. universities found that much of the trade today is being fueled by recent elephant kills, some as recently as just before the tusks were added to shipments. But how did researchers determine this? To find out, I'm here at Columbia University's Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory to speak with one of the research paper's co-authors, Dr. Kevin Uno. Researchers measured levels of radioactive carbon from nuclear bomb tests that were absorbed into the elephant tusks through the plants they ate.
It's like a tooth that never stops growing. So the oldest part is at the tip and the youngest part is at the base. So this is where we want to sample to get the radiocarbon age.
The team analyzed 231 tusks seized from near the supply routes in East and West Africa to the end markets in Asia.
In more than 90% of the tusks we analyzed, that time is less than 3 years. And what that tells us is ivory is moving very quickly from the time of death to the market. And it's also telling us that almost none of the ivory in these seizures that we analyzed was coming from old stockpiled ivory.
This means that the rate of poaching remains high, and conservationists say the African forest elephants are hit the hardest.
Within the previous 11 years, there'd been a 63% decline in African forest elephants. Because of their slower reproductive rates, they will be slower to recover from this than savanna elephants would be as well. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't worry about savanna elephants. They're clearly being hit hard as well. But the core concern, really, the biggest concern of the lot is for these forest elephants.
Countries are hoping to buck the trend. The U.S. is clamping down on the domestic ivory market, and China has said it would do the same in a move that conservationists believe will be a game changer. Liling Tan, CCTV, New York.